Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's Sybil. I am Sybil Wilkes, and I am so excited to meet and greet one of my favorite morning shows. And I will say that I am on a number of morning shows and existed on a morning show for a very long period of time. But these are people that I came to know in the studio because they were right down the hall from us when we did the Joiner Show for years. And now I am very, very pleased to have members and hopefully the third member of this crew of Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell, with the one and only Erica Campbell. Hello there. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Glad to be with you today, Sybil.
I am too. We've been talking about this and talking about this, and I'm glad we were able to make it happen. And everybody in a different place, your extremely capable and wonderful executive producer, TJ, is with us. Hey, TJ, how you doing?
Hey, Sybil, good to be here.
It's great to have you all here, and we are waiting. Griff, the comedian, he is in transit, so we will have him join us.
Yes.
That's our boy. Um, we are coming to you the day after Christmas, and hoping that everyone had a wonderful Christmas. And
Yes.
I would expect only so much joy coming out of the Campbell household. That there's a lot of spirit between you and your husband and your kids and all of that. So I hope that it was great, and also having your baby girl home, the Spellman
Oh my
woman.
God. Yes. All was amazing. We had church service, and so it was choir and it was dancing and it was music. And then we do a family breakfast. We actually wake up and we pray before we open gifts and
Hmm.
just, express that gratefulness and thankfulness and, thankful for the celebration of the birth of Jesus. And it was
Amen.
amazing. I love my kids. I love my family. My husband is a big gift giver. So
All right.
it's
Okay.
always a pretty amazing Christmas.
That's awesome. And tell people your church, the name of your church.
The name of my church is California Worship Center in San Fernando, California, 214 North Maclay Avenue. But I love it. I didn't think I would. It was not something that I was aspiring to.
Hmm.
But it was God's call on our lives, and so even though I gave a reluctant yes, I still gave a yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Because you know what, you got to listen to the instructions from above, and when he
Absolutely,
tells you where to move, you move.
absolutely. He's not one that you should doubt. So.
Right, right, right. TJ, I don't know where you are, but were you able to get home to the winterlands of Milwaukee for Christmas?
Well, yeah, I went to Milwaukee, then we flew to Virginia because that's where my little brother, niece, and nephew, and their family, my sister-in-law is there. So in Virginia with a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old and my little brother, my mother. So a beautiful time for Christmas.
That is so awesome. That is awesome. That I love to hear that about the family getting together and all that that entails. So let's talk about the beginning of the Erica Campbell experience, if you will.
Yes.
Uh, we know you, Erica. We come to know and love you from your music,
Hmm.
Grammy Award winning, and now Grammy and nominated again. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're excited about that. I first time I met you and your sister, you came through the studio
Hmm.
with your reality show, and so
Hmm.
for a lot of people, that was the first experience they had person to person with
Hmm.
Erica. And so we know your history in terms of television, but how did the radio show come about?
So, okay. So me and Tina had been trying to get a radio show for years.
Mm-hmm.
We had actually pitched to the company that I am
Mm-hmm.
now with, and many, many others, and everybody said no. And then when we would try again, Tina was like, "Oh, it's too much. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it." Well, I went to a meeting with a large portion of the gospel music industry. Miss Hughes was there. A lot of executives from Radio One
Mm-hmm.
and the praise stations were there, and we were talking about how to strengthen our genre, how to make it better. And I'm very much a team player, um, and so I guess after that meeting, and my suggestions and my thoughts and my passion for radio, and not just about my music, but so our music could really reach the world, so urban
Right.
music could be highlighted. I got a call from Miss Hughes, and she said, "I'd like you to do a morning show." I initially said no because I live in California. I'm an artist. I stay up all night. I do not
Right.
wake up early. And I was with my husband. I was like, man, that was Kathy Hughes. And she asked me to do the radio. She said, would I be interested in doing a syndicated radio show?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, what did you say? I said, no, because the music. And he was like, call her back. And I immediately called her back, and we talked about how we could make it work. And we made it work. And about maybe 4 or 5 months later, I was on the radio in Dallas, and I was
Yeah.
coming to Dallas like once a week and seeing you guys all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we were trying to find who the co-host was, and they were pairing me with all these guys. And I had remembered meeting Griff years ago at Hot 105, Hot 104 in Atlanta.
Yeah.
He was always really cool. He was always really funny. And every time I saw him, he would say, we're going to work together one day. And I would say, yep. I didn't know how, but I would just agree like, okay. And when it was time to start auditioning comedians for the role of co-host, when we got on the phone, we just automatically clicked. And I had talked to a bunch
Wow.
of people, and it was just automatic chemistry, the jokes, the funny, it just worked. And so we
Look
knew
at
that he was
God.
the guy. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
we didn't have a producer initially.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had all these people coming, and most of them were not working. And then TJ came and ascended on the Get Up Church, and it just worked. I think there was some bumps along the way, because anytime you're doing something like this and trying to figure out the different personalities,
Mm-hmm.
it's not always a smooth ride. But I think we were all committed to doing a great show, and so I am so proud of our team. We've gone through some personnel changes, but I think we're locked and loaded right now
Yeah.
with who we have. And it's just I love doing the show. I love inspiring people, and I love who I do the show with.
Yeah, and you can't help but feel the camaraderie and the great chemistry that you all have. And
Hmm.
TJ, I think that you, from the outside looking in and having gone through the bumps and the processes of early morning radio,
Mhm.
and certainly with Tom being the first of syndicated morning radio and the challenges that entails, TJ, you brought a cohesiveness to the group that is really important and vital that an executive producer has. And you have that personality, you have that vision also to work well with with comedians, with other personalities, and kind of bring it all together. So
Hmm.
kudos to you and
Thank you
to
so
all
much.
of you for being in the right mind space and the right place, I guess, for for the time and for
Yeah.
your careers and everything to bring it
Yeah.
all together.
Can I tell a quick story?
Absolutely.
Because while all of that was going on with Erica and auditioning comedians and all of that, I have been saying that I wanted to move to Texas for at least 5 years. I said I wanted to move to Houston, and I was talking to my pastor about it. I was working as a program director of a big FM station.
Hmm.
I was overworked and I was stressed out, and I started fasting and praying about it, and I just quit my job one day. Right. So
Wow.
I quit my job. I didn't tell anybody except for my family,
Hmm.
my immediate family, what I was doing. And I moved to Dallas. Right. So I got to Dallas with no job. And I just said, one of my sorority sisters said, you can live with me while you get your stuff together. Bring your car because you're going to need a car. And
Right.
don't give yourself a reason to fail or out to fail. So long
Wow.
story short, I applied for all kinds of jobs. I worked one day at the Sheraton Hotel.
One day.
One day, had uniform, the badge, and everything. And
Wow.
then I remember driving home from that one day, and I said, God, you said in your word, if I give, fast, and pray, that all of these things will be added unto me. You gave me this desire to do radio. I don't know why, because right now I want to give it back to you. I kid you not. I kid you not. That same day, I went home to my sorority sister's one-bedroom apartment. I started anointing myself with oil. I'm gonna get a little Jesus-y. And I started praying out loud, like telling God what he told me. That same day, the same websites that I had already looked at a million times,
Hmm.
there was this entry, this ad for an inspirational morning show. It didn't say Erica Campbell. And then I was like, inspirational morning show? And it said no phone calls, please. Long story short, I called. And the person who answered the phone while I was a program director in Milwaukee, it was Tanita Myers, rest her soul.
God
Wow.
bless
She
her.
answered the phone. We had worked together because Tom Jordan was one of our affiliate. You all are our
Hmm.
affiliate. And she was like, you live in Dallas? She was like, we've been auditioning. Send me your stuff. I need it by 6 a.m. And then I came in and I started the audition process from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at
Wow.
God. Wow. Okay, so let's add to the God story even more. Your boy and ours, Griff, the comedian, is backstage. And so let's welcome Griff hot off a plane. Oh, look at Hollywood.
Oh,
Big
Hollywood.
time.
Hollywood. Look
This
at him.
this feel like work. This don't feel like fun. All y'all I work with every day.
Work is
Don't act
supposed to
like
be
we don't
fun.
have fun together.
Right.
Okay.
No, we have fun all the time. It's not even fair. We have too much fun.
So Griff,
Absolutely.
It's so good to be
Erica,
back on with you, Sibs.
I'm glad to have you back. Griff has been on with us a few times, and I'm glad to have the whole group here. Griff, Erica has told us how you guys met when she came through, and you talked about the fact that you all were going to work together one day. How do you remember this all coming together and your input into it?
So I was probably on Hot B103 and Hot 107.9, the R&B
Yeah.
stations in the hip hop stations in Atlanta when Mary would come through and do their radio junctions. You know what I'm saying? They would hit the gospel station, of course, and then they would also hit the hip hop stations and the R&B stations. So I remember the first time I probably met them was like in 2000, and I was like, "Oh my God, Cali, you from Cali? Y'all need to put me on an album and let me do some interludes." And Erica was always saying, "Let's revisit that. I like that. I like that." And then I wouldn't hear for a couple years. Then I was with another station, and I would say the same thing. "Don't forget me for the interludes." And she would be like, "Man, I need to talk to Warren. That sounds like it's gonna be fun." And then Kobe called me probably April 14th or so, 2016, and he just called me like it was a little cracky how he called me. He was like, "Griff,
Lord.
it's Kobe. What you doing?" I said, "Nothing." What's that to Kobe? He's like, "Hey man, we got an opportunity in radio and syndication. It could be real big. Can you move?" And what he didn't know is I was going through a divorce. So I was like, absolutely, I could move in 12 minutes if y'all say let's move. That's even better for me. So then he said, "Okay, I'll call you back on Friday." He didn't call me back on Friday. He called me back the next Wednesday, but then he sent me a non-disclosure agreement. And I gave it to my lawyer friends, and they was like, "Oh, if they telling you don't say something, it's real, it's real." And the same thing like TJ, Tanita called me and said, "Hey, this is Tanita. You know her. I love Miss Tanita dearly."
Right.
Yeah.
She put me and Erica in a scenario on the phone, like, "Hey, let's pretend we was talking about entertainment, and you guys." But and Prince had died. Prince had just died, so they was like talk about Prince. So Erica was like, "Man, my family loved Jesus, but when Prince died, I remember my mama was singing Purple Rain." And she was like, "Mama, why you singing Purple Rain?" And her mama said, "Baby, that's Prince." And then they said, "What about you, Griff?" I said, "Oh, I won Exotic City 45 when I was in 8th grade on the radio." And they was like, "This is inspirational radio." And I was like, "I did, though." And Tanita gave us, she did one more scenario like that.
It was
And
something with
she
Lionel
literally-
Richie, I think.
Yes. And she literally called me right after that one and said, "Can you come to Dallas on Cinco de Mayo?" And I was like, I got a show, but I can come later. And then, we started May 10th. And it they didn't tell me it was Erica for a minute, but it was very surreal how I learned and how I got the job and just how calm Erica was. When we first got there, we're with all these big bosses with, it's Kobe and Cantor and it was then JC
and Donner and Blitzen and Miss Hughes and
Prancer. It was everybody,
Man,
and,
it was nerve-wracking.
And I hadn't signed the contract yet. So they was all like, "Yeah, man, and this is gonna be Get Up Morning, woo, woo, woo." So David Cantor is to my right, and Erica is literally on my left. And David looks at Tanita across the table, points at me like this, and goes, "Is this the guy?" I'm like, and
Real
and
funny.
I'm the
Tanita said,
guy.
Tanita said, yeah, he's the guy. And he said, Erica, is this the guy? And she said, yeah, this the guy. And then he looked at me, he said, no offense, because sometimes they be the guy and they don't be the guy. And, and on that day, I learned to leave that man alone
Okay.
for the rest of my life. But then we started that Monday, and the rest is pretty much a blessing, and it came to fruition so fast, so easily. And I believe that they really didn't think Erica would know radio good because she's a singer, and you know how radio people are. We're real funny about
Yeah, we're
our
very
craft.
particular about
Yeah, so
giving the
but
keys to somebody.
Erica was so funny. She had voices, and I was like, "You could do voices." Now she was like, "Yeah, I got a lot of them. I got a Russian guy, I got a Mexican lady, I got some Asian people." I was like, "You could do voices on radio? That's like the best. You awesome." And then, I mean, we just really kicked off from there. And to jump in on TJ's story, how she got the job, TJ had to audition like everybody else. So we was probably on the air about 10 weeks before TJ came. So we liked
Griff was
we
not
had been
nice to
used
her.
to Tanita. I wasn't nice to nobody though, because I was like,
I gave
hey,
the
man.
nice version. I gave the nice version.
Oh, did you? Oh.
Yes. I was like, oh, we went through some bumps and hills and valleys.
Right.
But she's here.
No, but TJ was the
Griff,
first
what you do?
person who auditioned. She was the first person who auditioned. She came in with like a notebook, and she had like some things she was going to do. She was very prepared,
Mm-hmm.
and we really appreciated that because everybody else was kind of like. And then me and Erica was like, nah. And TJ and we liked her ever since. I mean, I was hard on everybody because I was just protective of the show and Erica. But
Right.
TJ, I mean, you would have
Not
thought
as hard
TJ
as you were
started
on the
that
guy.
same
The guy who was trying to land a plane every time he
What?
was getting our attention.
day.
Remember the guy who looked like he was landing a plane?
he was like, he said, oh God. And we was like, dude, it's
We
too
were like-
much, dog. We can't work like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think I know that person too, and having been in a studio or two with that kind of personality, so I will say that it's jarring to your spirit and what you're trying to do. It interrupts the ease of the show that you are bringing forth
Everything.
to the people. Yeah. Griff, I need to ask you a technical question. Our producer wants to know: do you have earbuds? We're getting we're getting a lot of ambient sound from you. Okay.
I'm using them.
Okay. All right. Cool. So let me just talk about Tanita Myers a little bit, because we lost Tanita and people who watch the show, and also a lot of Reach Media shows and Radio 1 shows. We lost Tanita Myers this year, and Tanita was an interesting chick. She was a radio woman to her soul, and she also had a personality that didn't jive with everyone. Right. But she knew her business, and putting this show together was probably her finest moment in radio at Radio 1, putting you all together and making this a team. I really do believe that. And just remembering
I would agree.
her.
Tanita,
I would agree. She was definitely a special personality. Just the way, she spoke like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like we used to say, she come with the rainbows and the butterflies. And she would tell me that my tone, she was like, your tone is too heavy. I want you to go up in the end. She's like, I want you to say on Get Up Mornings. She was like, not on Get Up Mornings. Like she was like really particular, but she gave me like small tips to help and to structure and conversations and how they should flow and how they should end and different things like that. So she gave us the tools 100%. Just really, really grateful for her impact and her tutelage as it relates to getting me to where I am today, I believe.
And you never know how these spirits, how these people with the kind of personality that may not be in concert with yours, but can really add impact and make a big difference in not only in the show, but in your careers going forward. You know?
Everybody has their own genius, and if you are addicted to yourself, which a lot of people are, I
Hmm.
do things right, and if you do things like me, everything is fine. But everybody has a different thing to bring, and it makes this beautiful tapestry, this beautiful puzzle when you
Yeah,
put all those pieces, and everyone adds their personality to what you do. And allowing Tanita to be Tanita, I think was great for Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell.
absolutely,
I
absolutely.
I talk to Tanita's mom often, and Tanita taught me so much game. I had
Hmm.
knew a lot about radio, being in it for so long, but I didn't know one thing about the syndicated side.
Right.
And the syndicated side is 1,000 million
Oh my gosh, it's a
years
different game.
different than local radio. And she would take me to lunch. She just taught me this hustle. Like she
Yeah.
taught me, she was very, very meticulous how she taught me. And Tanita was great with personalities.
Hmm.
She was,
Who was a personality unto herself, and then dealing with all these
and like
different
she
Absolutely.
didn't
personalities.
even know. Like she acted
Yeah.
like she didn't even know. She was like this personality whisper, but she was a whole personality. Like, I mean, really, a unicorn, dog.
Hmm.
Like a
Definitely a
whole
unicorn.
unicorn.
Yeah.
I've seen her sad sometimes away from everybody, but never in front of anyone. She kept a smile, she kept the energy, she kept the focus, and she could talk to Reverend Sharpton. She could talk to the Democratic heads of
Right.
conventions, and she could tell me a story at the same time, all on the phone while I was sitting there. And I just thought it was awesome to watch her work.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and she was really good at what she
She was a
did.
calm storm.
Yeah, she was a calm in the midst of all of the craziness that radio does entail.
Hmm.
Erica, you talk about not wanting to do this because of the hours. I worked out of Los Angeles for a couple of years on the Jordan Show, and I know that going to work at three, or going on the air at 3 o'clock in the morning is
Oh
no
yes.
easy task. And I didn't even have all that you have, the music career and the family
Hmm.
and all of that entails. Give people a little insight into what that looks like for you.
So yeah, I have 3 kids, a music career. I'm a first lady of a church. I've got employees, and the music business doesn't really cut off at 7 o'clock. I
Right.
remember when I first started this, Ricky Smiley said, "Whatever you do, go to bed at 7." Well, probably the first 3 years I didn't listen, and I'll go to bed at 8 and go to bed at 9, and I would wake up with an attitude because 2:30 is so early.
Yeah, yeah.
2:30 is so early. And when I'm home, luckily the way my house is set up, I don't have to wake up the entire house. But
Hmm.
yeah, I go, I set up, I print out my papers, and I jump right in. I have to make sure that my voice is up so I don't sound sleep, because
Right,
I'm trying to
right,
wake up people, so I can't
right.
So
sound
tell her what you
sleep.
do every
And
morning with your voice.
You do the
my vocal warm
trills.
ups. I do.
Yeah.
You
Every
have to do
morning.
the trills. But sometimes I take a cold shower. Sometimes I get up and I do squats. Sometimes it's jumping jacks, you know. And then some days I'm barely hanging on. I'll do the first break and I'll go, "That was really good." And they'll go, I was like, "Yeah, y'all, that was totally fake. I'm totally knocked out sleep, but I'm gonna pretend that I'm woke for this show."
Okay.
Um, but yeah, the rhythm is much better. I definitely get more rest. Probably still not as much as I need to. So I like when I'm in Dallas with the
Hmm.
team. I love, love, love when I'm in a team. The shows are always like 100 times better. Not that I mean, and I don't think people really know. I think we
It's
just know.
hard to tell. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
when we're
exactly.
actually in the room together, it's so
Right.
much better. And then when I'm on the East Coast, it's even better because it's 6 to 10,
It's
and waking up
six.
at 5 is like the middle of the day. So
Right, right.
yeah,
Exactly,
waking up early is
exactly.
not a problem at all after doing this.
I don't miss that at all. I miss the I
Ooh,
miss the energy and everything of morning radio, but I don't miss that alarm clock or
the
getting up at
hours.
those hours. Erica,
Jesus.
I know you're being a dutiful relative, a great mom and auntie, and I know that you have an event to go to support your nephew. If there's and we don't want to keep you
Peanut
from
butter.
that, but we do want you to, if you have any final thoughts or anything you'd like to share with the people before we let you go.
I would say sometimes the next big thing that you're going to do in life, you're not really aware of what it is. Sometimes you're planning for that thing, and sometimes that thing is being planned for you.
Hmm.
So, what you have to do is be prepared for what's next. My prayer is, Lord, prepare me for what you have prepared for me. And when you have that in mind, you can walk into your next level of greatness without fear, without anxiety. I mean, you may be a little nervous, but if you trust that you are the person for the job, then you walk into this new phase. This is totally new for my life. And I did not think that I would love it this much, but I absolutely do. And so to whoever has something big and amazing that you desire to do, or maybe you don't have those big dreams, your next big thing could lead you to your destiny. So don't be afraid to walk into it.
Amen. Amen, Reverend Erica. We appreciate that.
She got them on deck, Sybil. Believe that.
I know that's right. I know that's
She
right.
always get you one of them. Easy.
That's awesome. Erica, I hope you have a wonderful new year. I look forward
you.
to working with you guys in the future. And I thank you for your time. I really appreciate you.
Awesome. Glad I could finally be on the show. All right. Bye, everybody.
All right.
All
Come
right,
back
we
again
love you.
soon. And happy
Love you
new
too.
year to
Later.
your family as
Thank
well.
you.
All
Okay.
righty.
Bye-bye.
So now we can talk about Erica. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
She's so phony. She read that off of something. Just like, no, she is absolutely
she's
like
as real
that
as they come.
all the time. She is one of the realest, and being on multiple shows and radio for so long, I have never had a host treat me with so much respect, so much dignity, who really care about me. I've never had it in radio, so
Yeah.
it was cool to, in my latter years, that I would be blessed with some more fun, you know?
Yeah. What do you guys look forward to in the new year? Not your New Year's wish, because we're going to come to that. But what do you look forward to? I know, Griff, you are exposing your wife, introducing your wife to your new wife to your homeland of South Africa.
Man.
What else are you looking forward to in the new year?
I had some programs that I was doing during COVID. One of them was, I can't even think of the name of it right now, but we were blessing people that worked at nursing homes, and we made an award for we picked people. So I want to do that again. I want to do that in person. It's a lot of things I want to do with my nonprofit, the Process Success Foundation. We making a school. Like it's so many more things that I want to do. I want to live on multiple continents by the end of 2023, and that will be South Africa and Atlanta. I tell everybody, like, Griff, why it'll be my 28th time going to South Africa, right? And they say, Griff, why you go so much? I just feel like God is closer. I don't feel like God is 1 million miles, 17 heavens away. I feel like he's right there, like right there. And because he's so close, I can hear him clearer. I can be more obedient. And it's just, and I don't know why my soul rests in Africa. Maybe I'm more in tune than most of our brothers and sisters in America who were stole. But it's something that just resonates on the continent with my whole deoxyribonucleic acid. And I can't. That's DNA, TJ.
Okay. She knew that.
And it just keeps calling me. It keeps calling me, and it's not a casual call. Like it's like the ancestors be. I told TJ the last time I was there, I just had to talk to the ancestors, and it's something that's not even magical. It's just something that's ours on that continent that's hard to explain to people who've been brainwashed. You know what I mean? Every time I talk to you about it, we go on and on and on and on. Right. But maybe talking to somebody just sitting at a bus stop, you talk about it, and they have all the negative views that have been kind of embedded in us as African Americans, and if they could just go over there one time.
Just one time. Have you invited your coworkers to go with you to do a show? We're
I'm
setting
very lucky
up. Okay.
I'm setting up a concert with Erica, and then TJ's gonna have to be there because they want to broadcast. Like I'm working on it. That's my 2023. If I don't get Erica to South Africa, she ain't even gonna talk to me no more. TJ been over there already too, and she was actually in radio when she went, so I don't have to sell it to her. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I'm working on some good things. You know, I'm a grandfather, so I got a lot of grandbabies, and it actually feels amazing to just have some little ones again. You know.
Yeah, but you also have an amazing daughter that you are raising, and watching her go through this life with you as her dad, I can only imagine is an experience.
Let me tell you something. Jameson, out of all five of my kids, is the cleverest, the smartest, the wittiest, and she just has it, man. Like her is endless.
Yeah.
She has tremendous upside. How about
Mm-hmm.
that?
Mm-hmm.
And I love that I've always never forced it on my kids. And they know who their dad is. They know what I do for a living. They understand that that's how we eat because of my personality, you know. And to watch them all use their personalities now and notice that it's in them is a blessing as a parent. It's a
I bet
blessing.
it is. TJ, what about you? What do you look forward to? What are your hopes and thoughts and dreams for 2023?
You know,
She said
Sybil,
she got this wig she gonna debut. I'm still waiting to see it.
Griff, if you don't
When she's
get
got
out
great hair
of
like that?
my
Let
hair,
me tell you something.
I
She got the
am.
prettiest hair, and she insists. It took me and Erica 3 years to tell her to let that gray go.
Sybil didn't
And
ask
look
me
at it.
about all that.
I'm
So
just telling her though.
yes, yes. Well, yes, and I will wear a wig when I get ready to wear a wig. I will be putting on a wig in the new year, but it won't stay on. It
All
won't
right.
stay on. You know, there's multiple projects that I kind of had like procrastinated on, and
Mm-hmm.
I on the simple end, just focusing a lot more on me. Because when you get so, the redundancy of all the projects at work that you're doing, I have let some personal projects of my own kind of move away. So I started already and working on my health because I do plan on losing a few more pounds, working on a show of my own
Mm-hmm.
as well, and also working on my ministry. I do believe that there is a call on my life to minister in some way, shape, or form. And I kind of put that to the side. So my pastor in Milwaukee is like, so what we doing?
Right.
And I haven't, I did start getting involved in my church, and I did, take on a class there, but really working on the purpose that I think God has placed in my life to minister to others. And I said that I wanted to get more training and go to school and go to all of that and all of the things. And I put them on the shelf. So I will be focusing on TJ, and of course with the balance, the work-life balance, but doing the things that I said that I wanted to do, that I know
Mm-hmm.
that I should be doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And also our promise to each other to meet for margaritas at least once.
And we ain't done it yet.
I
At least
mean,
one
we've been
time.
lying to each other every time we hang up on the phone. That's what we must.
We ain't done it
Absolutely. Take
yet.
that time.
I'm gonna
Take
get
that
I'm
time.
gonna get out to your yoga class too.
Yeah,
'Cause
and that's another thing, Griff. We need you and your bride to come and do yoga with us because we're getting that back up and started
If
as
I
well.
tell my wife that you saying something about yoga, she won't stop bothering me about call Sybil, call Yogi, call Sybil, call Yogi.
Tell me some highlights that you guys, some things you remember from the show. And I ask you this because it's hard to believe that it's been 3 years since the Joyner show
ooh,
left the
yeah.
airwaves. But one thing that I realized during that last year was to really take in all the things that we had experienced, all of the great moments and some of the lower moments, but to be present in that. And that's what I always recommend to people, because things go so fast now. Here we are at the end of the year, and it seems like we just got started, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are those things that you want to remember, and that you would like to express in terms of events that have happened to you while working on Get Up Mornings?
Hmm.
I would just like to say for the people who might not have known, um, Sybil and Tom were literally 15 yards down the hall from us, And in the Tom Joyner Studios, Red Velvet Cake Studios, Tom Joyner had his first class chairs from the plane that he used to go back and forth between Dallas and Chicago with. And every day I would sit in these chairs and I would have an imaginary conversation. I would go, "Can I have some Sprite?" And hey, how you guys doing? Yeah, I'm just going to another city. That's all. I would sit. I'd be there for like 7 minutes just by myself, pretending to be on planes and sitting and then just soaking in that I am literally down. I'm I could throw a rock hard and make everybody mad if I threw this rock to where Tom Joyner's Red Velvet Cake Studio is. And one thing that I miss that I did every day is I hugged Sybil Wilkes.
That was
And
awesome. The best hugger in the
and
business.
we gave each other good energy transferring hugs every morning. And to be around Sybil, I don't know how people take it for granted, but she is literally legend,
Yeah,
a
definitely.
legend's legend in radio, in communication. Her voice is iconic, and I dreamt of these days when I
Yeah.
was a
You know
5
what,
year
Griff?
old.
Let me jump in because I got a Sybil story too. Because I
Mm.
remember when
This is
Tom.
not about
No,
Sybil. Can
no,
I
no.
just?
But
I know you asked us
this is
what we remember.
one of the things that I do remember. I remember when Tom Joyner had announced he was retiring, and I'm sitting in the studio like, what about Sybil? Because
She
it was.
was.
Now I
She
love Tom
was.
Joyner, legend. But I was like, everybody's talking about Tom, but Sybil Wilkes. I was so excited to meet you when I met you because you were we heard you every day. And I
Right.
remember, I don't know if you remember this, but I remember I got on my phone and I was texting you and I was like, you the one that held Tom Joyner down. You had all the facts. You was keeping the information straight and blah, 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 blah. And I put my phone down and you walked in the studio. You just gave me a hug and walked out. Because as a black woman in radio, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to say I grew up listening to Sybil.
Well, that's okay. I get that a lot these days.
Okay, so I've listened to you a lot, So I remember meeting you and just like, wow, that's Sybil Wilkes, and just being able to just know you. That's
Hmm.
one thing that really resonates. Being around, great people that you have admired, and you think about things like how life goes by so fast. I remember we had John Singleton in the studio, and then John
Hmm.
Singleton passed,
Man.
making you appreciate the moments,
Right.
to be able to have people like Barack and Michelle on the studio in on on the show. And I
Right.
remember when Michelle Obama said, "Hey, Erica,"
Right.
and it was so
Right.
funny because the presidential music was playing. There was like, the next voice you'll hear is the first lady of the United States, and she came on, "Hey, Erica."
Promise you.
I
Yeah.
was like, oh, okay. People like Tyler Perry, being able to
Yeah.
talk to Medea, just being and actually over than more so than talking to famous people,
Hmm.
being able to have an impact on people's lives.
Yeah.
Like the pandemic almost took a lot of people out, and it took a lot of people out, but
Yeah.
it included myself. It almost,
Oh,
but
really? Yeah.
but to
TJ was
have,
stressed out. She had to repeat that
man,
sad
I'm
news
still
every day.
man.
At one point, we was like, "TJ, you okay?" She was like, "No, man. It's this news is so heavy. They got a counter of people dying, like it
Right.
was a Vegas casino number, and
Yeah.
it took a lot out of her.
And
You
every day
know,
I'd be like, y'all sure y'all don't want Sybil to do this news still to this day on this show? I'm just saying, I'll just get that
No,
out
you're
there.
good. You
And
guys.
so, but to be a vessel of joy, be a
Right.
vessel of laughter, be a vessel of motivation, and to hear people, when they say how this changed their life. So it's more than dancing to a song when you can have an impact on someone's life
Right.
from a personal level. It makes you
yeah,
feel good about that.
Let me tell you one thing that I learned, and especially by listening to you guys every morning. There's something about touching people and the responding to you by phone text cannot do it. You know, we were forced to go to text and response, but there's nothing like the sound of human contact, voice upon voice, and what you guys share, what you give to the world through your show has an enormous impact on people's lives, and it can change a person's life in a moment. You're praying for them, whether you give them an opportunity to respond to your question of the day, however it is, there's something that you have said that has an enormous impact on them. I know it does for me. I thank you for that on behalf of a lot of people I know that may not get a chance, but just hearing your voices and having that conversation with people goes a very long way.
Oh, well, thank you, Sybil.
I really, really, really appreciate that. I know you guys have a lot to do, and you know, with the new year coming forward, I want to ask you about your New Year's wishes. I know I asked you about your plans, but do you have wishes? You know, we have dream boards and all of that kind of stuff. But do you have in your head wishes for yourself, for your family, for others, and that you would like to express to people right now?
I'm gonna win the Nobel Peace Prize.
That's what I'm talking about.
The first comedian to win the Nobel Peace Prize. I look at it every day on my phone. It's my background. You know what's funny about Alfred E. Nobel that no one really knows?
That Griff knows.
He's famous because he was the man that discovered dynamite.
Right.
He made dynamite. So he was the Bill Gates in the 1800s. You know, if it wasn't for dynamite, we wouldn't be able to go through mountains and go to other. But it also killed millions and millions of people. So he created this trust, just to kind of, hey,
the other side of it.
I did more than just make dynamite.
Right,
you know?
right. Yeah, the peaceful aspect of his life. And
I already know what I'm gonna say when I win. And I'm gonna be in front of all these authors and scientists who split cells, and I'm gonna say, "Oh man, this is so awesome." So, do you guys Zelle or Cash App $1 million? And when everybody laugh, when they done laughing, I'm gonna go,
"I'm
for reals."
For reals is right.
So
right.
That's what I'm gonna do in the future. We'll get this Nobel Peace Prize real quick, and I got a plan in a way. And we executing, and finally I got a team, so I'm excited.
So let me ask you this, TJ. I'm gonna hold off on asking you that question because I do want to remind Griff that, remind people who have not seen it. He has an incredible one-man show. I would love to see you bring that to the people around the world.
That's the first thing we doing in South Africa. Like, that's because South Africa is a good base where I can then go to Gambia and Tanzania and Nairobi and of course Ghana and Nigeria, but use South Africa as a base for my one-man show. It's actually something we're working on sponsors and stuff on the African continent. They love the idea of already, you know, when you came and saw it and TJ hosted it, it was really the thought to use a screen and put it all together. So before COVID, right, in 2018, September of 2018, so now I got it. I understand it. I know how to keep them engaged. I was blessed to be able to do a gang of comedy on virtual comedy during COVID. Like I was really blessed to be able to. And what I know people not gonna do is watch nobody just hold a mic for 35 minutes no more. You know what I'm saying? You gotta. If you thought the attention span was small at a comedy club, online it's even smaller. So you got to give them a virtual show. Yeah. So I understand how to combine them both together with music. And so that's cool that you went to that. And so and you went and you loved it so much, and it meant the world to me, Sybil. Like, you don't even understand. Like, it was so awesome. It meant the world to me. I thank you for that.
Well, it meant the world to me.
I love you, Sybil.
I love you too, and I will support everything that you guys do, because I think you all are tremendous talents, and you both have such great testimonies to give to the world. I really do.
Thank you.
I really do. So TJ, what about those thoughts for the new year? Your wishes for 2023?
Okay, so I won't tell you the whole thing, but there is this project that I have in waiting. One thing that I've always wanted to do is really empower women, and now where I am right now, talking women with gray hair, women going through menopause, women with fibroids, women going through different things, and even generation to generation. And I really want to be, my wish is I get this thing going in 2023, and can't put it all out there. I can't get all.
I know. You got to hold on to some of it.
But really, but I think that there's a lot of talking that we do that we don't do. That we talk a lot, but we don't talk about a lot of the right things sometimes. And sometimes the conversations that I have with other women, I'm like, wow, we never even have this conversation. You know, so being a vessel, a bigger vessel for women to empower them. I decided years ago that I was using my life as a vessel for the public, and that is one thing that I've had a desire to do for a little while, and little bit by little bit, that's coming together. I've been saying for the last 30 years that I was going to lose 20 pounds. I am going to do it.
You're well on your way. I don't know where you would lose 30 pounds, but
we don't. TJ ain't even big. She been saying that.
I'm going to do that. And then just wishing for health in my family, health, and it's a lot of mental illness out here in the world. Just wishing that we can all get past and grow and be stronger from the pandemic. Learn the lesson, get better, take better care of ourselves. Acknowledging when we're not okay, and getting the help that we need so we can be okay.
Exactly.
Come on.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Griff, you were going to say something?
No, I was just gonna laugh at TJ. It's fine. I'll do it tomorrow.
I'm thinking about Griff.
Tell people how they can find Erica Campbell. Get up mornings with Erica Campbell and crew.
You can go to at Get Up Erica. That's the show site at Get Up Erica. And for Erica, you can go to I'm Erica Campbell. For me, you can go to 2 trillion, the number 2 and the word trillion. TJ's is TJ Live DST, TJ Live DST, but she ain't checking nothing. She ain't posting nothing. She don't know what nothing is. And you might find you a good Howard Hewitt picture of TJ. That's how long ago.
Haters, Sybil.
Shalimar. You might find you a nice Shalimar.
Shalimar, that's some good music. They don't make it like that no more.
That was some good music.
GetUpErica.com is the website. You can also go to the App Store and get our free app, Get Up Mornings, on the app at the App Store, so you can check us out on our app.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And always representing for the lovely women of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. There you go.
Definitely that.
We close our show every day, ladies and gentlemen, with our daily inspiration. It's called Yogi's Jewels. And today is sleep is good medicine for your body. Consume as much as you can.
Yes, Lord.
And during the holiday, I hope you're all able to do that. Say again,
I'm a professional napper.
I wish I could be.
Anybody. Every day. Last 3 decades. Easy.
It's good for your body and good for your soul. I wish you all a wonderful new year. I look forward to working with you in the new year, 2023. And keep up the great work. You guys are really doing good things. And I'm very glad to know you. And it is inspiring to me to have these conversations, to talk to you.
We love you, Sybil. We love you, Yogi. You guys are awesome. You got to have me on more. Let me play with you and Damon and George and them sometime.
Come on.
Let me play with you.
Come on. His wife knows. TJ. His wife is very aware of.
Don't do that.
I don't know.
We ignore her.
Y'all are funny.
God bless you, Sybil. Thank you.
God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for making the time. We appreciate it. And Happy New Year, you guys.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Bye-bye.
All right, everyone. Aloha.